Thanks, dude.
Hacking there though, bro.
You,
Yo, you
you said
hacking,
what?
bro? Real shit. Are you hacking?
Nah, bro. Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, I'm gonna break down a game I got using one of the slowest killing guns in Warzone. If you're new to the channel, basically what I do is I go through one of my games and I break down how I'm setting up these gunfights to where the odds are stacked in my favor. Now, generally for solos, it's gonna be a lot better to use a high damage gun like a Kar 98 or something like a Ram. Obviously, the problem with these guns is they're hard to use and the recoil can become unmanageable. So if you're someone who doesn't like controlling recoil or sniping, you might feel a little lost in solos. Now, I do say the M13 is the worst gun in Warzone right now, just because there's other guns with zero recoil like the Farah that kill a lot faster. Now, those guns will 100% be getting nerfed in the future, which is why I decided to use the M13. The M13 is one of the lowest recoil guns in Warzone, and although it has a slow time to kill, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I make it work. So here's the class setup for it. Long barrel, monolithic, all pretty standard stuff. And as a secondary, I was using the MP5. But anyways, if you guys end up enjoying, please drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss any more Warzone tips like this. But let's get into it. Now getting into the game, you see me going hospital right here. It can be a very risky drop, a lot riskier than just landing on a vehicle and doing bounties like the old strategy. But I just go for it just so I can get as many kills as possible. I hear this guy on the ladder and I'm able to pre-fire him. And he ends up being the only one here, so we're able to loot up. So I looted up, I got some better weapons, and now I see the train coming by. And this early in the game, there's pretty much always going to be someone on the train trying to loot or do recons, and I ended up seeing him front side of the train. So I'm kind of waiting for an angle, and I'm not sure where he went. I see him middle cart. I get the hit marker as he's unaware. He was grabbing the recon, which is why I was able to shoot him in the back right there. And now I see him in the back, he's plating. So what I do is I make sure I'm centered on him the whole time. I hop out. He's not going to expect when I'm going to hop out. You know, you can never fully predict when someone hops out of a vehicle. And since I'm also centered, I'm able to get the kill. Immediately after I get that kill, I go back to my vehicle as some sort of safety. And I see some gunfire over here. So I can go get my loadout. But the thing with that is it's going to slow me down. And I know exactly where this guy is. And if I go get my loadout, he's going to be able to rotate and I'm going to have trouble finding him. I also don't have enough money for a UAV, so I kind of just go for the kill right now. So he starts beaming me, I get eyes on him, and I hop out again centered. He doesn't expect it, and I have the vehicle as cover. I ended up getting my loadout, so I'm a little bit broke now, so I go to do a bounty to get UAV money. And now as I'm getting out of here, I ended up getting naded, so I know someone's close. So I use the vehicle to scout. I spot him. I'm centered before I hop out. And another thing is I crouch and kind of snake the vehicle, so he kind of gets a delayed reaction of when I'm going to be shooting him. Now we get a simple kill on him, but basically what I mean by snaking is if you do that crouch and then quick peek, you're going to get like 3 or 4 shots on them, and then they will get the notification on their screen that they're getting shot at. So now I go to swap out my vehicle so I can hunt down the player who was shooting me earlier, and you're going to see in this gunfight, I hop out in a spot where I have cover. This was not by mistake. I angled the car perfectly to where I'd be hopping out on that piece of cover. So now I'm trying to hold out this player on my orange ping. He wasn't really peeking me, so I just kind of had to wait for zone to push him out. And you're going to see my aim's a little off here, but I get him weak enough. As he gets close to me, I make sure I pull out my MP5 because I know he's going to hop. If he kept driving, he would have just died to my M13 shot, and no one's going to be that dumb. They're going to hop out on you and try and challenge you. So make sure you pull out your secondary in that situation. So again, I'm in a spot where I have no money for UAVs. So I ping bounties. But I end up hearing a player to my right as you see me quickly exit the map and start looking around. Now I'm scouting him with the vehicle. I see him right there. Hop out centered. He's not expecting it. It looked like he was trying to hit the buy, so he wasn't really expecting me to get into a gunfight with him. So we got UAV money off that last guy. And I see tons of pings over here, so I'm making my way over. And I see this player prone under the staircase. He's clearly not the best player, but I still make sure I'm centered and make sure I hop out to where he's not going to expect it. Now remember when I showed you guys that snaking the car type of movement? Now here's an example where I had a guy on my UAV in this house, so I'm trying to get him to peek me so I don't have to push in. And you're going to see he gets a little curious. I snake the car. And even with the M13, I'm able to kill him fast enough to where he's not even able to unpeek. Because of the way the latency works in Warzone, I probably showed up on his screen after I'd already gotten 3 or 4 bullets on him, which is why he wasn't able to unpeek in time. So here I end up seeing some fighting in front of me, And if you can third party a gunfight, always take it, because 9 times out of 10, someone who just got out of a gunfight is not even going to be full health, and they also probably don't even have their gun reloaded. So I popped the UAV, and now I see a player in front of me. Assessing his movement, he looks like a decent player, so I seat swap him to really throw him off. As you saw, he kind of looked towards me, but I guess he didn't see me, so he kind of just kept running, and I got the free kill. Okay, now I'm driving up to an area where I had several pings earlier, so I end up popping UAV, and I see there's a guy in front of me on the ground. As I'm driving up to him, I seat swap, and you see all his tracers go into the driver's seat. Also, if I just regularly hopped out, I wouldn't have really gotten him with any misdirection since I was driving straight at him, so I kind of had to seat swap there. So now I'm driving up to another player on my UAV. Again, I don't like pushing buildings. I hate pushing buildings in solos. I'd rather them peek me and me get beams like that. Again, with the snaking movement, he wasn't able to unpeak because of the way the cameras work in Warzone. So I see a guy in front of me on the UAV. Now he's distracted for a second, so I go for some shots on him. He's able to quickly get behind cover. And now something you can do when someone's behind a tree is it's very thin, so if you keep moving right or left, you'll get kind of an angle on him. So I move a little right, and I see a good bit of him. A little bit of bad shots there, but I get an armor break. And now I push up to go for some nades. Unfortunately, he gets really good timing where as I'm throwing the nades, he rotates to the house. But if you watch my how to dominate campers videos, then you'll know a good way of pushing these buildings if you have a truck. All you do is drive up, you hop on the truck, and you're able to jump through the window. And you see that guy ADSing the doorway from the stairs like any other player would, and we're able to shoot him in the side. So as you see, this guy up top has my bertha really weak. He C4'd it as I was driving by. So I rotate to go and get the Jeep. As you see, he mantles over, which allows me to get a knock. And now I can't get to him since I'd have to run all the way through stadium. So I kind of timed the nade to where he self-reses. As you heard, he self-res and then the nade blew up. I just didn't get the kill because I missed it. But that's going to be something you guys can do if you're not able to get to your down. But anyways, as I'm rotating out, I see this guy grabs a Jeep right next to me. So I seat swap to go for some shots on him. Unfortunately, he kind of like drives over me. So I just hop out, and now he's kind of in a weird spot to where he's stuck, but I'm outside the vehicle with my gun ready. So I got a bounty because I didn't feel comfortable hitting any of the buy stations left in zone. That lumber one was the only one left, and I didn't think it was too safe, so I just didn't use it. So now I'm looking for my bounty. I hear enemy soldier incoming, so I go for shots on this guy. Unfortunately, the player in the house had an angle on me, so I kind of have to plate up. He ends up hitting another shot on me, messing my plates up again. So eventually he's going to be able to disable my vehicle, which is my only piece of cover. So I hop out and I pre-fire the window just so I can kind of make it to safety. And now I pop my dead silence and I push the building. Now this is pretty much the only time you see me pushing a building is when I have Deady, or I can use the Bertha trick I showed earlier. So I get some shots on him. It's kind of awkward, so I go to hop out. And he was thinking the same thing, so I'm able to get him in the back. Luckily there was another car nearby, so I didn't really have to worry about my other car being disabled. And I also saw this truck pull up to this building while I was in that gunfight. So I go to look for him, and now you're really going to see the power of staying centered and also that snaking movement. So I see him in the left window there. I snake, I'm centered, and even with the M13, I'm able to kill him that fast. So you see I had this house ping. I saw some fighting here earlier. So now I rotated, and I'm trying to get him to peek me. I don't really see anything. And I end up getting shot from the other building, so I guess the guy who won that fight rotated there. And now you're really going to see the power of centering while you're in a vehicle. So I see him in the left window. I kind of center through that wall. So on his screen, it probably looked like I had wall hacks if you didn't really see me before I hopped out the vehicle. So as you guys see, even with the slow killing gun like the M13, I'm still able to get these kills because I'm centered the right way and I'm peeking things the right way. Now I get a third party opportunity here, so obviously we take that and we shoot this guy on the side. And now that I got him down, I just got to go for the full. So I got a UAV off the body. I see a player running right in front of me. He ends up making it to that hut. But obviously it's going to be like any other gunfight we take where someone's just camping in a building. We get him to peek us with the vehicle. As you can see, he's a little bit curious. So we snake it and we go for some shots. I don't end up downing him even though I snaked, just because I kind of missed a little bit. But we can always do it again. And this guy is out of zone, so we can hold him out no matter what. But I rotate around, I go for a peek this side. He peeks through the window. We get some nades, we get some shots, and we get him down. So after that last kill, I got my restock stun class, since stuns are so powerful in Final Circle. And now I'm just kind of holding a spot that's safe to me. That way once zone shifts, I'll be able to out-rotate everyone. So now I get precision, I look on my minimap, I see where it's coming from. So I just go to run this guy over. He has no real cover from the vehicle. He had a rock, but my vehicle was able to drive over that, obviously. Okay, now we're in a top 3 situation. So there's 2 other players. And I see tons of vehicles to my east down low. So I'm thinking someone's going to be rotating up from that direction. And I also know there's one in the building with the most wanted since there was fighting there earlier. So now we see this guy rotating up from down the hill. And I kind of have some trigger discipline here because I'm not sure if he sees me or not. He ends up being ready. So we kind of have to reset the gunfight. I start snaking just so I can get as much information as possible. As you see, I end up getting shot by the other player. So they're both like right next to each other fighting me at the same time. Unfortunately, but that's going to happen a lot in solos. And one of them ends up going up top. So it's like any other gunfight, we just center. And we get that kill. The other player gets the full for us, so now it's just a one-on-one. As I said, vehicles are going to be the most powerful when the zone starts shifting. So I see where the new safe zone is going to be, and I get to a spot where I can hold him out wherever he goes. I see him making a gas play, which was a good play. It was the most unexpected thing he could have done. But I get back in my vehicle to spot him with the third person. And I see him right there, and I go for some stuns just to make sure I get this kill. So we get a stun hit, we peek around, we get some shots. And again, he's not able to move at all, so we're able to get the free kill. And that's the win.